Here comes Lisa.
There she is.
Hi. I'm not hungover, I'm going to say that, but by the time I got all the dishes done last night and kind of wound down, it was 2 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Moving a little slow today.
Lisa. Wow.
Mm.
I get to do my taxes today because I did everyone else's for the last few months. So today's my day.
Isn't that crazy? You know, it's what we do as our job is the last thing we do for ourselves. Right?
Mm.
It shouldn't be too hard for me to get it done. I just have to, I always say that. Don't we always say that? Oh, it's only going to take me a couple hours to do this. And like 2 hours later, you're sitting there still doing it.
I always dread it, Lisa, and I put it off to the last minute, and then not the last minute before I see my CPA or whatever. And then it's so much easier than I think it's going to be. I make it a much bigger deal than it really has to be. Yeah.
Well, with the companies that I do taxes for, and Colleen used to be a CPA, so she had the big brunt of it. All I have to do is get the documents ready for taxes and be able to answer questions.
Right.
But my biggest issue is I'm working with some phenomenal accountants. I mean, amazing accountants. It's my clients. I'm like, what is this for? And then I don't hear from them for 3 or 4 days. And then it's all panic sets in. Oh, wait, we need to get this done today. Yeah, a week ago I told you that. So that's, and I like my clients a lot, I really do, but it is a little frustrating being captive to their schedule.
Right. Because they're putting it off too. I get it.
We don't really have a topic today, but I did want to say I don't know if any of you guys know, I listened to this podcast. It's with some DJs from old time radio station here in Los Angeles called KROQ. And there was a point in time where all of these people who had been with the company for about 30 years as the leading morning program in LA got fired. And so they've all gone on to do different things. And 2 of them have gone on to do this podcast called A Cup of Tea and a Chat. And it's really just, I like to explain it as they say, it's minutia. They just get together and they talk. And they talk about what's going on in the day. It's 3 days a week. It's about an hour each episode. But because of this, there's this huge interaction with all the followers. There's about 5,000 people that follow, and about 2,000 of those are on the Facebook page. So somebody came up with the bright idea, and it's all over the world. It's international. So someone came up with the bright idea to have a meetup. So we finally coordinated it. It started off at about 40 people, jumped to 80, then 120. I was in charge of getting the venue. By the time we got the final number, it was 270 people coming. So we held it on Friday at this restaurant. There were about 190 people that showed up. And these people, we don't know anybody, none of us knew each other. All we had in common was this podcast and this love for this radio station. And I have to tell you, I have never seen a happier group of people. I couldn't believe it. 190 people hugging everybody. Yeah, sorry, COVID. Hugging everybody, exchanging numbers, and it's going on and on still to this day. People are, posting how happy they are. They're still euphoric from the whole experience. So now that was a 2 a.m. morning as well, because I thought people should come back to my house afterwards. So that was a little bit, that was the alcohol speaking. But I just love the idea that I'm in a room with 190 people. Actually, it was outside. And we just loved being together. Didn't know each other. People flew in from all over the United States. We had a Zoom going for those of us that couldn't, for people international that could talk. That Zoom went on longer than our immediate meetup did. I mean, they were just talking and having the best time. So anyway, I'm still on a little bit of a high from that, but I guess that I just can't quite get over how you get in a room with 190 people and they all of a sudden are your very best friends ever. And all you have in common is that you pay $3 a month to listen to a podcast. So
Wow.
that was Friday, and I'm still a little bit buzzing from that. So it's all good. So
They look like really nice people, Lisa. You posted some pictures and they looked like really fun people. Yeah.
the other thing was, seeing people's faces, and I greeted everybody at the door and handed out name tags and stuff like that. And so I got to meet almost every single person that attended. So but I told my friend who coordinated, I said, it's like a wedding. You're planning this wedding. And I said, come Saturday morning, you're going to be just deflated. And, it's like, it's over. I've worked hard on this for a year and it's over. So anyway, it was fun. So that was my weekend, that and Easter. So Janet and Marilyn and Mary Beth, I didn't really haven't put any effort into today. I'm sorry. So I don't know if you guys have any ideas of something that we could chat about, or ladies, if you guys have something you want to talk about. This is your time. Where is Mimi when we want to talk about menopause? Ilona?
So I do have something to share. And I'm encouraging all of you to call your senators and your Congress people, because there is a new piece of legislation going through Congress called the Wildlife Recovery Act. I need my glasses. And it is the largest piece of legislation of its kind since the Endangered Species Act. We have lost 66% of wildlife in the world since 1970. And just in the state of New Jersey alone, they'll be able to help 657 species. That's one small state. New Jersey is a tiny state, and 657 species are at risk. We will get if this passes, we'll get 15.5 million to try to save as many of those 657 as species as possible. But it's called Recovering America's Wildlife Act, and it would invest 1.4 billion annually towards programs that protect the nation's at-risk species, according to the National Wildlife Foundation. And it's built on the premise that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And so I'm just encouraging all of you to, especially Earth Day week, this is a great day to call your senators and congressmen. The national, or as I said it here, the Recovering America's Wildlife Act. So please do that. That would be just a wonderful thing that would make you feel good, and it makes me feel good to share it.
Yeah, thank you, Ilona. I mean, it's really sad to see the dead bees on the sidewalk and things that are happening to all of wildlife. So, so we just have to call whoever our senator or congressperson.
It's national, right? It's America's Recovering Wild. So you call it federal representatives, not your state representatives.
Oh,
But
okay.
the federal bill, right? And it's being considered now, right? The last time, 1973 was when the Endangered Species Act was created. But again, since then, 66% of wildlife around the world is gone. So it didn't save that much. Saved some. We can do it if we really want to, but it didn't save enough. That's for sure.
Okay. I see Lisa left. Ilona, would you have either a meditation or something to start us out?
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Not a problem. So I'm going to suggest that you pick up some rocks, pick up some crystals, whatever you have around you, pick them up. We'll do an Earth Day thing. How about that? Whatever you've got available, just pick a bunch.
Do you want to start with Marilyn's protection prayer?
Sure. After everybody.
If Marilyn wants to come back.
Had to get my rock.
Mhm.
Get my rock on.
Let me get my record.
And then whenever you're ready, Marilyn.
Yeah. And close your eyes and take a deep breath. And we clothe ourselves in a robe of light composed of the love, the power, and the wisdom of divine consciousness. We wear it not only for our own protection, but also so that those who see it or come in contact with it will be drawn to divine and healed. Please, divine, let your light surround us, let it permeate us, let it fill us up and emanate from us and reflect back to you, divine, and to each other, knowing that we are the light and we're always the light. Just feel yourself relax, and there it is.
And so breathe down beneath your feet and connect to a white orb of light. And as you're doing that, send love into the stones in your hands. And as you're breathing down into that soul star, the beams of your life force moving down to connect to the hard iron and molten core of Mother, Father, Earth. Feel that connection deepen beneath you. And now become aware of aqua spirals of Mother Earth energy rising up from the core and rising up around your body. The energy of unconditional love, tenderness, dynamic creativity, problem solving. Feel that aqua energy rising up and around you and above your head all the way to the edge of the atmosphere. And now become aware of the golden Father Earth energies rising up from the core around the aqua spirals. And this is empowered nurturing, protection, support, and guidance. And feel these golden spirals around the aqua spirals, starting at the feet, up to the head, and then again to the edge of the atmosphere. And as you settle into this cocoon of aqua and golden Mother, Father, Earth energy, begin to breathe the aqua energy in, and the gold spirals become golden sparkles that move into the aqua energy that you're breathing into your lungs. Feel it filling up your chest cavity. And then become aware of the aqua and gold energies moving into the heart and then being pumped through the bloodstream into every cell of the body. Relax into this unconditional love, nurturing, tenderness, empowerment, and support. Feel yourself as the child of the earth, loved by its parents, its celestial parents. And the birdie agrees. And now in this beautiful place of planetary communion, imagine a magenta rosebud beginning to blossom in your heart, in your chest cavity. And imagine this magenta rose starting to blossom and fill up your chest cavity. And as your love grows and expands, you may have a rose bush or a rose garden or even a rose farm. As the petals expand beyond the cells of your body, feel them moving into your memories, through your feelings, into your thoughts, and out into your hopes and dreams. And as this loving expands, now place the love into the hopes and dreams that the earth has for itself. Place your love into the thoughts that the planet has for itself. Place your love into the feelings the planet has for itself. Place your love into the memories that the planet has of itself. And place your love into the aqua and golden energies moving inside your body. And feel that magenta ribbon follow all the way down, flooding the heart, the molten and liquid core of the planet with this magenta, unconditional, tender, soothing love. As this continues to pour forth, feel the love of the 5D planetary spiritual government joining with our love. Feel the love of the angels, other humans loving the earth this much, the animals, the plants, the rocks, and the elementals, earth, air, fire, water, and ether. Feel the energy of the dragons and the angelics of the fifth dimensional spiritual government flooding the celestial body that we know of as Earth with love. Feel now the presence of ribbons of magenta and gold and purple and white and baby blue. Feel ribbons of these energies being created around the planet in its rotation from the Arctic to the Antarctic. And feel these energies descend around the planet into the kingdoms of nature in the locations most requiring support, healing, comfort, and hope. is the home I love. And these ribbons will continue for the next 12 hours. Thank you all. How's everybody doing?
That was beautiful. Thank you. Wow.
Thank you, Ilona. That was wonderful. Really beautiful. I'm just waiting. Everybody's coming back. Yay! You made it. Hi, hi, April. We haven't seen you for a while. How are you doing?
I'm okay. There's just a lot going on right now. It's nothing major, but so my boyfriend and I were shacking up for like the past 5 months, and now he's officially moved in. So we are moving him in this weekend, and my childhood where I used to ride came up for sale in New York, and I really wanted to buy. Like, I tried to buy it before the pandemic, and it went to foreclosure. I saw it online, and I thought, oh, this is my chance. And it didn't work out. And so I'm kind of like lost right now, but I'm doing okay. I'm just emotionally a little tired, and like, I don't know if I'm just supposed to I mean, obviously I'm supposed to flow and like let things happen, but I'm always reading things I feel like wrong. Like, I'm like, oh, this must be for me if it came up for sale, and I'm going to have this great, retreat and save all these horses. And now I'm here. But everything's okay. It's good. It's good. So, but thank you for asking.
Just a lot playing on your mind, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's all right.
I think everyone, oh, go ahead, Janet. I was looking for
I think what April was talking about is probably happening for all of us. And I wanted to ask Ilona about that. Is this, we're trying to create abundance, and there's abundance, I think, in love and in intention and all that. And then we see these limits, like April's talking about, that the limits of the world going back to supporting abortion, or the limits of war, or the limits of the animals disappearing. And I'm like in that same space, April, where like, what's going on? My heart feels differently than what I see on the outside.
Exactly. It's kind of misleading.
Yeah.
So if you remember what I was talking about from last week, you get what you need to serve with the resources that are yours, that are necessary for your missions, right? So if you don't get something, it's because that's not your mission right now. And instead of fighting it and making yourself crazy about it, take a look at what is coming to you and use that to inform you about where you will best be of service. And wherever you will best be of service means that you will best be served, because the heavens are efficient and effective, and they only look at things that are relevant. And so we, in our third dimensional minds, have all these ideas, and things are really relevant to us in 3D. And they're like, are you kidding me? No.
Right.
That's not going to bring you your highest good. That's not going to bring you health. That's not going to bring you happiness. That's not going to make you fulfill yourself. But we will provide what will do that for you if you're willing to let us. And so there's a lot of reconfiguration that will occur through this entire year, including a lot of massive change that will occur. And from now till the end of June will just be unbelievable in terms of lots of shifting and shakings around the entire world, right? And so the more that you are centered in your own experience, in your own life, and you feel abundantly provided for in every way that matters, you can relax. And then when you relax into that, you can go, wow, the heavens really do have my back. Let me flow into my future instead of plan it.
Right. That's great.
Flow into my future. The plans that are in there will unfold in the way that is perfect for me in the world. This is Yeah, I said this years ago when the pandemic first started that, it was great. We had food, we had water, we had power, right? We were stuck in our homes, but we had everything we needed. And I said to you, in the future, we're not going to have those things the way we did. That was a gentle introduction to getting used to getting comfortable with having to change your life. So I'm going to say to everybody, and I say it to everybody everywhere, really be conscious about what you truly need and allow yourself to access that, allow the heavens to provide it for you. And instead of being afraid of what you won't have or what you won't need or what you want that you won't get, celebrate everything that's present to you. Because the more you do that now, the happier you are going to be 6 months, 2 years, and 8 years from now. Because you will have learned a valuable skill that will have us help you navigate what's happening to our world at large. So the more we start it now, the happier we are, the more we're able to produce. And then when you are in harmony with the heavenly elements, you can make stuff out of nothing. It just can happen, but you can't plan it. It's only going to happen sort of miraculously in your interconnections with all of these heavenly resources. Is that helpful?
Yes.
Very so. Thank you.
Yay, and congratulations on the shacking up.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
that's a good thing. Yes.
Great.
Boy, we've come a long way, right? I'm actually watching the Mad Men series again. And I don't know if any of you have ever seen it, but the placement and the position of women back in the 60s, as far as, their roles in the world. I mean, everything was determined by their spouse or the men that they worked for. And it was, I mean, it makes me so mad when I watch this series and the way that the men, how misogynistic they are. I'm like, oh, you assholes, why are you like this? And so it's kind of fun in a way to see how far we've come, and we can say, hey, we're shacking up now. So I wanted to talk to Erin. I have a question for Erin, and a lot of you guys know, we'll wait till she comes back. Hi, Erin. So you're on mute, by the way. I thought this might be an opportunity for you to explain to me and everybody else, most people here are probably familiar with it, that the thing you do, the Reiki.
Oh, the Reiki?
Oh yeah, that. So I wanted to know how you got into it and what is it? Because I'm dying to do it, but I don't know what it is. So I'm visualizing rocks and things. But maybe you can take us down that.
Sure. So Marie had introduced me to a lady that used to run pre-pandemic. She used to run a spiritual center, for lack of a better term. I think she had a better name for it, but basically she did all types of classes. So she did classes on meditation. She did classes on manifestation. She did classes on anything that you can kind of think of from a spiritual perspective. And she is a very educated woman. She taught at a university for many years and then realized that her calling was from a spiritual perspective and developed all of these courses. So Marie had taken a course and recommended that I take a course. So I kind of just went onto her website, saw some stuff, and she offered Reiki classes. And what Reiki is, it's energy healing. So what happens is we all have, 7 chakras, and our chakras can get blocked for different reasons, or they can be, there's a lot of different things that can happen. Like, for example, have you ever met somebody? Well, you mentioned that on Friday, you met all of these people, right? And these were people that you had never met before physically. And they just had like such great energy, and you guys all clicked and everything went well, right?
Yeah.
So all of those people potentially you are all vibrating at a different level because you're all so connected with this podcast. And so when we do these classes on Mondays, or, you know, I call it a class, but our meditation sessions on Mondays, and we meditate and do all of these things together, we tend to vibrate at a higher level because of each other. Like we bounce off of each other and our energy gets higher. But sometimes with, you know, life and everything else that happens, your energy gets stifled, or you may have picked up, like what I find for myself a lot is that I pick up other people's stuff. And then I start carrying their stuff. So I like live and die and breathe with Marilyn's protection prayer, because I absolutely like am a sponge for people's stuff. So when it comes to the energy that you're carrying, sometimes you need it to be cleared, or you may be going through something, you know, like you may be working through something that's triggering you, or something may have triggered you, and that can shift your energy and it can block one of your chakras. And so basically what I did was I attended those classes, and she gave quite an amount of history around where the actual concept of the Reiki came from and the history behind it. And then what she did was there's different levels. So I took 3 different classes. And so I was considered within that realm a Reiki master. Now I did it for myself. I didn't necessarily do it to actually do Reiki on anyone. So I took the class, and during the class, she brings in some of her former students, and they do, I can't remember the exact name of it now, but basically they certify you from a spiritual level that you're able. You know what I'm talking about, Ilona?
Attunement.
There you go. Yeah. So she attuned us to be able to do the Reiki. And the first level is she only shows you like a couple of symbols. And then if you take the next class, then she shows you a couple more symbols. And then if you take the last class, she shows you all the symbols, and all the symbols are for different types of healing. And then she also taught us how to use a pendulum to measure individual energy from a chakra perspective, and all of these different things. And so I took all of that, and I took the class, and I got, what's the word again, Ilona?
Certified.
I got certified. And then I didn't really do much with it. Like I just kind of prayed for people, and, you know, would send my energy. And when you start doing it, when you're doing it on the person, once you practice enough, you start feeling like your hands tingling in certain areas where the person needs like more healing. And so the idea, the actual idea is that, you know, all of our ancestors and those angels and archangels that are floating around and protecting us all of the time, their energy is so strong that sometimes, even though you're asking for them to come and help you, they can't get directly to you because it's so strong that it would like shock you. So someone like myself that has been certified channels that energy and then uses it to put it on to the person that I'm doing the Reiki on, and to clear whatever energy is not great with them right now. And then just kind of give them a little bit of a lift. So I started doing it on my dogs, because animals love it. And my dogs absolutely love it. Like and my dogs are super hyper, and they will just like melt when I'm doing the Reiki on them. And then Marie, when she was having some stomach issues, had said like, would you be willing to do Reiki on me? And I was like, yeah, you know, I've never really done it on anybody, but yeah, of course. And she was like, okay. And so I started practicing on Marie. And then now I've practiced on several friends, and I do it on my boyfriend all the time. He used to not be 100% keen on it. Like he was kind of just like, okay, this is a little bit weird. But now actually he'll ask me for it. Like he'll say like, I'm not feeling so great. Can you do some Reiki on me? And I'm like, sure. Most of the Reiki that I do though, I do it like remotely, if that makes sense. Like I will think about somebody and then I just feel like they could use some love. And so I just send them whatever energy I can. But really it's channeling the energy from all of our peeps in the air, and using their strengths, and then healing the person that's, you know, there in front of me. Like one of my girlfriends, she was feeling fine, and it was her birthday. And so I told her, hey, do you want me to do Reiki on you for your birthday? And she was like, oh, sure. And so we did a session, and I had cooked dinner for her. And after we did the Reiki, she was like not feeling great. And I was like, oh man, I'm sorry, like I made you sick. And she was like, no, I don't know what's wrong. So she ended up going to the doctor, and she ended up having this infection in her intestines. And like it turned out to be that eventually, if you don't get that particular infection taken care of, it can turn into cancer. So she had to have like an upper GI and a colonoscopy and all kinds of stuff. But needless to say, the doctor was like, you know, you totally caught this at the right time, because it hasn't caused you any harm. And we're able to take care of it with medication. And so she believes, and I believe too, that the Reiki basically brought it out so that she would feel it and know that she needed to go to the doctor, because she hadn't had any symptoms.
Wow. So it's not like a hot stone massage then?
It is not a hot stone massage. You just lay there.
Okay. You know, if anyone has been privy to Erin's text messages occasionally, and if you want to share your number with her, she out of the blue will send you a text that uplifts you like you wouldn't believe. Like you sent me a text last week that just at the very right moment overwhelmed me, almost brought tears to my eyes, because, you know, it was such a simple text, but it just had such a deep meaning. So, you know, but I want to try this Reiki thing, but at the same time, yes, Ilona.
So you know, Erin, if you don't mind,
Yeah, of course.
I can do a thing with all of you so you can start to feel the energy. And then Erin, what I would suggest is once I open everybody up, why don't you just send them a frequency?
Sure.
I want to say something to Lisa.
There was stuff going on with that.
Lisa,
Yeah.
even in person, Reiki doesn't touch you.
Yeah.
It's above you. It's above your body, right?
Okay.
So
Mhm.
it's not a massage.
Okay. And do people feel different after it happens?
During.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
and so do dogs. I've had a dog also enjoy it.
Mhm. Dog animals love it.
Yeah.
Cats, dogs, they love it.
I was saying yay because I want it and I want to come back as your daughter.
So the thing I would say about Reiki is it is a wonderful introduction to energy, Lisa. Reiki is a very good beginning modality for people seeking spiritual healing because it's gentle. It's gentle and it's kind and it's simple and it's just a very easy way to access it. Wouldn't you say, Erin?
Mhm. And you don't really like, well, for Marie, I'm sad she's not on today because she could attest to it, but like I have been able to feel different spots on her body where like I felt that there was something going on there, and then I can send like extra energy there to try to help work it out. But she was having, and she still at times has like really bad headaches. And I felt like a ton of pressure coming from her neck and from her head at times. And I'll, you know, stay there and work on it for a little bit longer. And when she is done, she feels a tremendous amount of relief. But a lot of it has to do with like it's, for lack of a better term, it's things that we cause ourselves, but then also there's things that can go even deeper. Like my friend with her, you know, stomach issues, like some of the stuff is just I'm just moving things around so that you can figure things out on your own, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you don't take on any of that energy.
No.
I do not. I definitely cleanse myself before and after and say a lot of prayers. Because I am definitely like, it's just a really random just so you guys, I mean, I'm sure all of you suffer from the same issue, but sometimes I forget about it. So I started this new job, right? And I love my boss. She's just like amazing. And the first few weeks, I mean, I have not worked in a corporate environment, interacted with a ton of people. So I wasn't thinking that I needed to protect myself, but of course I should have been. So like a month in, my boss had a breast reduction. So she was like working remotely and kind of in and out of work for a couple of weeks. And one day I woke up and my breasts were hurting so bad, and my breasts never hurt. And I was like, this is so weird. Like, I can't believe that my breasts were hurting. And it took me like 3 days to figure it out that I had taken on all of her stuff.
Wow. When you take it on, does it relieve her of any of it?
I don't know. I don't think so. And I don't think she did it on purpose, because she's not like an energy sucker. I just think because she shared all of her stuff with me, and I had an immediate bond with her, that I took it on myself.
Yeah. That's that empath part too, that we all talked about earlier, where we all.
Yes.
So I know Ilona and you were talking about, is that something we're going to do today? Because I did.
Yeah, I can do it. I can do it right now.
Okay, let me ask Sita a question real quick. Sita does Rolfing, with the things. And Sita, is there any spiritual element to that? Because I know, like, you help Marilyn and stuff like that when you do the Rolfing. Is there something spiritual about that as well?
Well, it definitely gives great spiritual relief, because our body retains all memory. So it helps. It can be a very powerful tool to chelate something out of your body, just like with the Reiki. And I mean, I had actually a horrifying past life memory on the table when I was first experiencing it. But I too started with Reiki, and it opens you up like crazy. And I started getting that tingling feelings, and I would just not even be touching a person. And how it opened up me is it started giving me all of these pictures of the person, and they were past life experiences, and the person always related it to it. So that helped me to believe what was happening. But over the years of really not wanting to take on energy and see that, oh my goodness, I took on somebody's energy, because it's a very hard for me to believe that can happen. And then it really did happen to me over and over again. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So, now the last few years, what I finally realized, I mean, like after 25 years of working with this and trying to figure it out, what I finally figured out is when something like that happens, you feel the pain in the breast. Definitely it's because of your connection. And so since I want to be on a conscious spiritual path, I keep thinking, then what is it for me? Why did it come up? I can't believe that I took on somebody's pain. They don't even feel that I'm taking it on. And then I have to deal with it, and it takes days to I mean, I've had some very freaky experiences for sure, and get so depleted. And so I finally realized that what I was getting, being the sensitive or the empath, whatever you want to call us, is that I was getting a very clear 3D message that I can help that person. So I just started reversing it, because all energy, we pull it up from the earth and we send it out through our healing hands. it's can be continuous all the time. There's never not enough energy to work with. So when something's strong like that, then it's got to be a message, I say, from spirit that I can help this person, because actually that's how I would be doing the Reiki thing, and I would get so much pain from the person, and I'm like, okay, I'm not even touching this person. What's going on here? And so then too, it was like, wow, what's going on in this particular spot of your body? And it could be physical, it could be a memory that was lodged in there, something, but now I realize I am being called as a tool, to just work through it. And as soon as I would reverse it and get that love through me and back into the working mode, boom, explosion, and the pain would be dissipated. It would go into what it's supposed to do.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to stop by Erin's house first, and then I'm going to make a day of it. Okay, if you guys, Ilona and Erin, want to go from here, it's all yours.
So Erin, I'm going to just create the awareness and the access point, right? Get everything really shimmering. And then do you have a particular frequency that you're going to be sending to them so that they can be aware of it? Don't say it. Don't say it. And
I was gonna say, I'm not sure, but I'm sure it will come.
but then at the end, we'll ask them, what did they feel? And then you can tell them what you were sending. Okay. All right. So Lisa, here, you're going to get your Reiki today.
Okay. Yay.
All right. So everybody continue to hold on to your rocks. Really have your feet on the floor for this. You're already linked up with your aqua and golden spirals. So Janet, and I think that just sort of like was a predisposition to what needed to happen in the later part of the call, because you're already linked up. So I want you to actually take the hands with the rocks in them and put them like this to make a ball. And then just keep moving your hands like this and imagine blowing love right into that ball until you can actually feel a ball of energy inside the palms of your hands. Go ahead and you're going to feel it. There you go. Coming along nicely. Doesn't matter if it's the size of a pea or the size of a grapefruit. It's there. Then once it starts to really coagulate, you can stop the spin and start to blow love into that little chamber in your hands and then allow it to grow. Allow the ball to grow. And some of them might be so big that you need to put your palms out like a little bit of a plate. And you got a nice big ball of loving light there. Now we're going to actually split it into two balls so that you have one in one hand and one in the other. And just simply move your hands up and down and notice the difference in the energy. Is one lighter, is one heavier, one stronger, one weaker? And go ahead and close your eyes and see if they have a color. Good, you're all doing really, really great. Now go ahead and pull those two balls together back into one. And now like taffy, like saltwater taffy in the Jersey Shore, just pull it so that it's this beam, this string of light. And now whatever you need the most today, whether that's a calm mind, a calm heart, a strong body, hope, delight, strength, peace. Blow it into this. Blow it into this strap, this stream of light. And now turn the stream vertically right in front of you. And then put that stream of light right into the brain and the spinal cord. So put one hand on top of your head, the other at your pelvis, and feel this beautiful light energy with what you asked for being placed into your central nervous system. Big breath. Moving into the neurons in the brain, the neurons in the heart, the neural networks through the spinal cord, through the neurons in the nerve plexus into every nerve cell throughout the body. Feeling good? Okay, now with that in place, just bring your hands, palms open like a cup, down on your chair, and you are open to receive Erin's Reiki infusion. Erin, it's all yours. The dog is getting it. Dog is getting it. Lisa, don't think, just feel. Just feel. Feel the rosebud, right? The roses in your heart. Let the rose petals be literally moving in the wind of Erin's Reiki, okay? Breathe it in. Feel it wash over you. And then Erin, you go as long as you want, and then you just tell us when you're complete, okay?
Okay. Okay, everyone.
Big breath. All right, Lisa, what's the verdict?
So I was looking for some calmness. I have, in the last few probably months, I start thinking ahead in my day of what I've got going on or what I need to accomplish, and my heart races. And I try to tell my heart just to calm down, everything will be fine, but it just sits right here. And so during this, my shoulders here got really, really warm. So I'm just going to relate the two as if it was taking some weight off of my shoulders. So I did have a sensation of warmth on my shoulders.
Do you feel calmer?
I do feel calmer. And I appreciate you, Ilona, to tell me to stop thinking, because, it's all I'm like, okay, is everybody okay? Everyone, their speakers are working. Should I mute? And so you were right. So thank you. Does anybody else want to share?
Lisa, I just thought it was so funny because I know how she's highly intelligent. So her brain's going all the time. And I was smiling inside when you said that, Ilona. But I know with you, Erin, it was like intense love. Oh my gosh. It was like, whoa, you just exude love and I could feel it. So thank you.
My pleasure.
Rocky, did you want to say something? Sorry, I saw you moving towards your screen, so I just assumed.
It's okay. I felt like a lot more clarity. I had so many things going on in my head this morning, so I just kind of felt like a sense of relief. So thank you. Thank you guys.
Yay. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, yes, Sita.
But I felt just almost immediately, just right after you started, literally right here, literally right on my heart, I literally felt a heart expansion. I had to open my eyes to see if you were doing something. So then I just sat and for the rest of the time and to see if there was anything else. And I gotta say, I just feel a much stronger connection to you, Erin.
Oh, thank you.
Love expansion.
Thank you. I did actually, I sent all of your heart's expansion and to clear anything that was holding you back from a love perspective so that you can all just exude love all day, all week, all month long.
That's a lot of love, Erin.
That is a lot of love.
That's awesome. Wow.
And you can see that it doesn't matter where you are. It's limitless. It has no location limitations. And you did great, Erin. Thank you.
Well, and I appreciate, Erin, that you, I put you on the spot and you, took us on this journey today. I think that was amazing. Thank you.
My pleasure.
That's what happens when you don't really have a plan.
That's right.
We started it today. It's like, oh, let's just see where it goes. Okay, let's do Reiki. So that's
I'm glad I was able to do it, actually.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody else want to share or?
I just want to say I immediately got comfort and delight, and that just got stronger the entire time.
Awesome.
It was lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I say, I worry, because I've been getting chest pains as I work in my son's yard a lot. It's like, oh, please let this healing come in. But I felt love, and that's my strongest suit in this whole world is I have love, and I love to give love. That's my favorite thing. I wish I could be paid for it because that's about the best thing I can offer. So I felt very strong in that sense. It was wonderful.
Awesome.
Yay. Look at that. And Marilyn's back.
Yay. Am I muted? You can hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, the battery went out. It was incredible. I just got lost in it. I've been having trouble yesterday and today with pain. And it seems to be back like in a really big way. And I just could feel everything relax, and I could feel it from the inside all the way through. And I felt it go down from, like an 8 to a 2. And it just infusion of love and expansion. And it's interesting because I stopped thinking too. It's a good reminder to not think, and and it was really lovely. But what was lovely for me, I tend to go out, fly away if I have pain, and I stayed present and felt everything relax and integrate. And that's really what I'm working towards. So thank you. I found it really relaxing and powerful and filled with love and incredible. Thank you.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, what a nice morning. This is a nice way to start the week.
Yeah,
it is.
And tax season. So it's amazing. Okay, does anybody else want to share anything aside from how grateful we are to Ilona and Erin today in sharing their special skills with us, and appreciate you guys so much. Yes, Sita?
Well, it just reminded me of the sweetest little story, and maybe a suggestion that some of us might want to try, and maybe even you, Erin. This is, oh golly, over 20 years ago when I started working at a metaphysical bookstore, there was a lovely lady doing readings there. And she said that she made these magic wands out of cinnamon sticks. And I just, what? She would buy these like these foot-long cinnamon sticks, okay? It was just so adorable. And I just said, well, I'll put an order in for one. So that's all I told her, right? She said, sure. Okay, so she made me this wand. And she put string and she glued little things on it and a little crystal at the tip of it. So you could zap somebody with, and she literally used my colors. She got tuned into my colors, purple and green, and she put that on there. And so as soon as I saw it, the colors but I'm telling you, when I picked it up, oh my goddess, it was just like what this was right now, that we actually could feel something. I'm like, okay, is this my imagination? What's going on here? I could literally feel the amount of love that she put into it, thinking about me while she was making it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
And I still have it. And do you know that every time I pick it up, I still feel it?
Wow.
I think that in what I'm suggesting, if anybody wants to play with the idea of being able to send some energy, maybe you want to try to make one of these wands for somebody that you want to, and give it to them and see what their reaction is.
That would be cool. I might try that.
I have a Harry Potter wand. No? Yes, Marilyn?
It's so much fun because as soon as Sita said cinnamon stick, Idel, if you're old enough to know My Favorite Martian, I watched her antennas go up and she was just like, because she's a baker. And it's really interesting with, all the holidays that have been going around with these different religions this past weekend. And Idel baked and cooked for them all. And too bad we're far away. But infusing that love into the voice, like Ilona does, into the energy, into the food that we ingest. We've been at Donna and Jess's house, they made something called Buddha bowls. And it's this, what they think is this simple dish. And we thought, look at all these complex flavors we haven't made it at home yet, but it was like, there's so much love in there. And it's interesting with each one of us, it's amazing. It's really just amazing how we can infuse it and share it in so many ways. It's really fun.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Marilyn. I think all of us have different ways to exude love. And when you were talking about that with Idel, and I was thinking about, reminded me of Easter dinner yesterday. Someone else did the entree, which is normally my thing. But, I went on, did all the vegetables and the appetizers, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like putting it all in there, all of me and all of my heart and soul into a pistachio pesto. That's what I made.
But that's why it's so delicious, because you have to love the food. You have to love it, and you want other people to take that in,
Yeah.
So it's a prayer. It's your prayer.
Yeah, that's astonishing. And we all have such different ways to contribute that. I think that was beautiful. Thanks, Marilyn.
No, it's interesting. I'm looking around at all the people who personally have sustained us and each other. Mary Beth, whenever I'm sick, she shows up with, sustenance. And, Lisa, it's funny. I'll never forget cinnamon and orange juice with tequila, the orange cinnamon thing. And I think of that with we do it all the time. I have to remember to do it, but and drink tequila. But it's just all these things, the association, who you're with, each other. It's really just so powerful. It's amazing.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Rocky. Rocky makes cocktails, and on I guess it was Saturday, she came up with a concoction because she wanted everyone to have a nice Easter shot. And so she came up with something, and it was really good, but she'd put so much thought into it, as well as salting the rim with a pink salt, tagine, and pink. Something made it pink. And I was like, wow, look at this girl. So you too, Rocky, you're throwing it out there with the cocktails.
Oh, I love making different concoctions and just putting, I don't know, some kind of thought into something that everyone can enjoy. But I was thinking Easter, and I was thinking like colorful. That was actually hibiscus salt I found. So I thought it would be perfect. But yeah.
It was really good. So
What was in it?
It was tequila, some peach schnapps, a little bit of a prickly pear, and Midori sour, and lime.
I figured Midori for the color.
Yeah, give it a little green tint to it.
Yeah, it was good. It was yummy.
Yeah.
I will say that the cook took the shot and drank it down fast.
Yeah.
I was a little worried about how the rest of the night was going to fare, but he did okay. So note to self, we give him the shots after his shift is over. Great. Again, I can't thank you, Ilona and Erin, and also Stita, for sharing with us about your rolfing too, because, you know, it's always been so interesting to me. And I know you've helped Marilyn with like her hands and things like that. So thank you guys for sharing your gifts today. And yes, Ilona.
Lisa, there's a lot of first level Reiki classes everywhere now. It's just shot up all around the world. And if you like the way this felt, you can take a day-long class, get all of the symbols and the attunements, and do this on yourself every day. It's really, really accessible. It's not like it used to be.
One of these days we'll have just a class on chakras, because I can't figure out chakras to save my life.
With my eyes closed. So if it's not those, that's not a problem.
Steps, Ilona, baby steps for me. Chakras first, and then I'm going to heal.
Lisa, I just wanted to say, Lynn has been driving home from a doctor's appointment in Texas to her house, and she said, I can't see everybody, but this is so fun. So I keep getting text messages, and she can hear us, but she can't see. So that's why she's there like that. Yeah.
And we saw, Colleen, we saw you briefly, but your video went out again. So it's always nice to see your blank screen.
Thank you. I'm here.
I know you are listening, but it's always like we see Colleen. And anyway, okay, ladies, well, off you go. Have a great week. I hope everybody's doing well. Thanks again, everybody, for contributing today, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
So much fun.